Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Today I am back with another video, and this time we are once again in Willow Creek. You guys know how much I love to build here, but that's not the reason we are here. We are building here primarily because I kind of wanted to continue building for our save file. Last time we were here in Willow Creek, we built that gym that you see to our left, and similar to that, I don't know, I was very inspired to continue building here. I feel like I want to finish this world before we move to another one or to a different section of Willow Creek itself. But yeah, I also wanted to continue that idea of this town, or like Willow Creek itself, being like very close knit, small community, small town type of vibe. Everybody knows everybody. And so I felt like building a diner was very fitting, because it's kind of like a place where everybody sees each other, or this is probably like the local diner that has been in town for the longest time. And for my save file, I'm gonna have a family own this place. The name of the diner is Jackie's Diner and Bar, and my idea for it was that Jackie, she was the founder of this restaurant, and like I said, it's been in business for a very, very long time. And now that Jackie is getting ready to retire, she really have to think about who's gonna be taking over now. She has two children, but they both have very different ideas of how they want to run this place. Like I said, this local diner has been in business for a very long time. Everybody knows the people that work here, the workers know the people in town. It's kind of like that type of place where you come visit and people know you by your name, and maybe the waiters already know your order because you always order the same thing. I also kind of like the idea of thinking that maybe they were very well known for the apple pie, and I don't know, I just really like thinking that when I was building this. So because of the history of this diner and the people of the town itself, Jackie is having doubts of who's just gonna hand this place over now. Because she has two children, it's gonna be 50-50 for each one of them. But again, they're her children, they have very different idea of how they want to run it. Like this, I feel like the daughter, she will want to continue to run things the same way they are right now. Now this diner, I feel like it has stayed pretty much the same throughout the years. Like the menu has been the same. Jackie really hasn't introduced any big changes. The prices have also stayed the same, and that's one of the reasons why people continue to visit this place. The food is good, prices are cheap, and everybody knows you. So customer service is great. So why would they want to change anything about this place? But like I said, Jackie's daughter, she wants to continue this idea. People love Jackie, they love her food, so they will love to continue to visit this place. However, the son, his idea is that it is a business, so they have to make profit out of it. But currently I feel like the way it's working, they are just making enough money to be able to pay for the building, the bills and whatnot, and to pay the employees and buy supplies, right? They making just enough for all that. And again, it gives other people a place of employment. But the son, he really thinks that they could do more, because people love this diner, and I'm sure he wants to increase some of the prices. Maybe not change the menu, but definitely increase the prices. And he's sure that people are still going to continue to pay for it because they just love this place so much, and it's going to be a great change. But it's something that is probably necessary if they want to make some money out of it. But for Jackie, it's not really about the money. It is about the people. This place brings people together, bring her community together. So it's not about the money for her. She's just really happy that she gets to feed people, and that they get to enjoy the food that she makes, that she gets all these many compliments for her cooking, and she just wants somebody that is just as passionate about cooking and about people like she is to take over the place. And that is definitely her daughter. But it's that contradiction about the two of them taking over the place because they want to run things differently. I feel like if I were to play with this family, I will most definitely try to play with the daughter, and most likely I will try to like save enough money so that we can pay our brother half of what the diner is worth, so that he can take his money and then we can go ahead and run this place however we like. But as you know, because the two of them will be honest, once Jacket retires, then they will still continue to have this debate, which is, it's kind of sad. Like, I understand both points, because I don't think that people would just leave the place. Like, if the business was doing bad, I'm sure people will get together to try to do something about it, because again, this is a small community. People know each other, they try to help each other, and I think this is one of the places that they wouldn't want to close, because they just feel so close to it. It's part of the family pretty much. So that'll actually be something really fun to play out. If I decide to do some gameplay at some point, that might be one of the main stories that I would like to explore. But yeah, now about this build, similar to my other builds, I kept the floor plan very, very open. You guys know how much I enjoy doing that. I just feel like it makes gameplay more enjoyable, at least for me. Just having the whole area open, you get to see more of the decoration, and you don't really have to pull all the walls down. I personally, like I said, I don't decorate a lot for that main reason, because a lot of the walls goes down. You don't really get to see a lot of that. But in this case, when I get to do community lodge, which is my favorite thing to build, especially restaurants, I get to do these big floor plans, and just, I don't know, everything just comes the way that I like. And especially this build, I'm telling you, the floor plan and everything else came together like pretty easily, because I already had that idea in my mind how I want things to work. Now, really quick before we continue, I'm gonna give you the bad news. I had to change the floor plan a little bit, and yeah, believe me, I was so annoyed. I love the way it looks right now, and I really wanted to keep it this way, but during play testing, I had an issue with the booth. Now, this that I'm gonna explain, I had experience before, and I don't know why I didn't think of it when I was building this. Now, like I said, I love building diners, I love building restaurants, and if you check my gallery, you will see that I built plenty of this. And I knew this is something that I knew. I don't know how I forgot. But anyway, when I was play testing this build, I encountered the issue where Sims are not able to use the booth. Now, if you visit this lobby with 2 Sims, right, and they're having a day or whatever, you will be able to see it on the booth, no problem. 2 Sims is fine. Now, if you visit this lobby with 3 Sims or more, that's when we'll have an issue. Now, if it is your Sims that you are controlling, it's still okay, because if you have 2 Sims sit down, right, and then you can have one of them, you can click on the other side of the booth, have the Sim scooch over, and the third Sim will sit down. Now, these were for the Sims that you are controlling, okay? The NPCs, the Sims that you are not controlling, they won't do this, okay? If 3 NPCs are visiting the lot and they decide to use the booth, 2 of them are going to be sitting down, the rest are going to be just walking around. And I'm telling you, while playtesting this, I was so annoyed by that, because how come at this point, I don't know, that's something that Sims are not able to do. Like, it annoys me kind of like to you placing a little item in front of the Sim and the Sim not being able to go over it like they used to do in the Sims 2. Anyway, so I was thinking that this is probably, I don't know, like a routing issue. It's not a bug, okay? I think that's just definitely the way that it works. Like, you are not supposed to put this booth against the wall, but they look so good against the wall. So I wish there was a way that the Sim would be smart enough to just scooch over on its own and have the other Sim sit down beside it without having to have that other space, on the other side, because that's how you normally do it, right? Like in real life, when you go to a restaurant, there's a booth, one person will sit down, scooch over, and the next person will sit down, okay? But yeah, anyway, it is a game, so I guess that might be something that will be implemented later on. That's something that has to be updated with the Dino pack, which I know I was thinking that once they did that refresh for the spa day pack, I thought they were gonna continue to do that for our older packs, but apparently not. But yeah, anyway, I did end up switching some of the walls and removing some of the half walls to make sure that that was gonna work accordingly. And it does look a little bit different, but everything is still placed in the same space. You won't see that in the video, but you will see it on the final build. Anyway, so moving on from that, I'm after placing everything in this space. Now I'm just adding some decoration. Now you will see me here, I'm placing those little glasses. That's another bug that I've encountered. Maybe not bug, but that's just the way the game works. I am placing these jars as well as some glasses, and what we are in build mode, they will stay there, but once you go to live mode or leave mode, however people say it, I don't know. But when you go to the mode when you do gameplay, those glasses will disappear, and that's another thing that I was like, why? I always I will struggle trying to find a glass that won't spoil, and now that I find one, because this one is the vampirism cure, it doesn't expire, but it will disappear from that. Like the jar will stay, but the glass itself, they disappear, so you won't see those glasses when you do gameplay. So I was also annoyed by that. So on top of having to change the removing those walls and whatnot, and making the front a little bit bigger to make sure this booth will be functional, I also had to deal with that. But again, like I said, in build mode you will see them, but when you're playing they're gonna disappear, and then they will show them. I don't know if I don't know if there's a setting, which I doubt, for that. I think that, just like I said, it's just part of the way the game works. Those are no items that normally should stay there. I just wish that we had like glasses for decoration, kind of like we have coffee cups. We should have those glasses as well. But anyway, I feel that's one of the few things that you can find on the debug menu and placing, but they don't even work as decoration because they'll go away. But yeah, anyway, so here we are moving to the kitchen. One thing that I like to do when I'm building restaurants, I like to make sure that I add 2 chef stations. I have found that by having 2 chef stations on the restaurant, the food will come out faster. Now we all know that dine out is not the perfect pack. It's very buggy. Me personally, whenever I play with this pack, I like to have the dine out reloaded mod installed. I don't remember the name of the creator, but it is out there. They have a free version and a paid version. I'll use the free version whenever I'm doing some gameplay, which is very rarely, but I also use it for playtesting. And I don't really use any of the other features other than it makes the functionality of the pack itself a little bit better. Like it makes Sims think a little bit smarter, and that's really all I need. And I guess like if you're doing gameplay and you want your sim to be part of the staff and whatnot, that also would be a very good mod to have. But I try to keep mods as light as possible, just because again I want to make sure all my builds are accessible for everybody. But yeah, when I do gameplay on my own, when I'm testing, I like to make sure that things work perfectly. But yeah, so here the kitchen, like you see, I added those 2 little kitchens, and then I added some extra decoration. The fridge and all that is just for decoration because the Sims won't really use any of it. Similar to the sink, they don't really need that for the lot to work. I'm pretty sure that the waiters, they throw away the plates and all that on the waiter station. So yeah, it is. I do 2 chef stations and 2 waiter stations minimum, so that they have plenty of waiters. Depending on how many stations you add, that would be the amount of waiters that would be in the restaurant. I'm pretty sure that I did 3 waiter stations for this one. That it just means that things are gonna come out faster, and that helps a little bit. Okay, so now we move into Jackie's office. I decided to do the little book. I'm thinking that recipe book, it comes with the Chef Hustle kit or whatever, or stuff pack, I don't really know. I thought it was very cute because again, like I was thinking, I think like one of their specialty is the apple pie. They have served this the apple pie here for years. People really love Jackie's apple pie, and so she has like a special family recipe that she will only share with her daughter because she's also a cook. It's a person. The son, he's like a businessman, that's it, because he's very focused on profit rather than the cooking and whatnot. So like I said, I understand both points, but yeah, I was thinking that they have like a secret family recipe for the apple pie that they serve here, and I really love that idea. I think after this, I add some little extra decoration and we quickly move to the outside. Now, something different and that I'm doing with this community lot, I normally don't add a lot of plants, but for this one I thought it made sense adding these little bushes. I have been doing this for residential lots, like adding this little bush. That is my favorite tree, which I made really small with the help of the tool mod, so that it looks like a bush. That one comes with a horse pack, expansion pack, and it's my favorite tree. I just love the way that it looks. I love the shade of green that it has. It is not too vibrant, it is not too dull. I think it's perfect. That one, and I also like that one that you guys see on your right, in the middle. Those I also place on that little walking area. I place with the tool mod as well, and those are part of the cats and dog pack. Yeah, I really like that one as well. I just don't use it as much because it has a wide trunk, I think, and it kind of, I don't know, it doesn't fit everywhere, so I use the horse pack one a little bit more. But yeah, so here we are, just adding some parking space. You know me, can have no parking space. I couldn't add them on the front of the lot because again, I feel like it would take too much of the space, so I added 2 and 2. I think this is 2 different spaces, and then I decided to add this little fence around. Now, if you look at the roof right now, it is a little bit messed up, and I'm telling you, you won't see it in the video, but it took me a little minute to figure out what was going on. And it was everything due to platform. So I decided to add a little platform in the front door, and then I had to add another one inside as well, so the Sims could take, 1 step down or whatever. But I had to change that because apparently that was what was causing the roof to look like that. And if I were to use a thinner roof trim, it would have been fine, but I love the idea of using that really big one. So I went ahead and removed the platform, and that fixed the problem. So I'm very happy that worked. Having that platform is not that big of a deal. It looks just fine without it. Got a little bit plain in that area, but like I said, not really a big deal. Then again, I added some parking space. I mean, not parking space, but like bikes parking space, I guess. And then here in the back, I added trash can, same old. And then I decided to add those little water tanks that come. I think those come with the Sedan and whatever pack. What's the name of it? I can remember. I just know it comes with the pack that has that world. Well, I can think of it. Anyway, it comes with that pack, and I really love using those back there. They really made a lot of sense, for imagination purposes, because they really serve no real purpose. You don't really need water back there, but for the realism of it, yes, you need, they connected to the kitchen and whatnot. Then I added these cute lights all around. I add some back here, but also I end up moving those. But I really love the way they look at nighttime. You'll see that there. Also, here was when I discovered that this little sign lights up at nighttime. That one comes with the wolf pack, or the werewolf pack, and I really like it. I like using that here again because this is like a very old type of a thing, and that sign looks very old. It looks kind of dusty, so I love it. I love the way it looks here. And then in this back area, I do change a couple more things because I'm pretty sure I removed the little not fence, but like the little bench, and I added 2 separate seats because I was thinking that maybe the Sims will take the lunch back there. But yeah, here I'm adding some terrain paint, just kind of like make it all look a little bit worn off, because again, this lot has been here for a very long time. It's very frequently visited by other Sims, so it would just make sense for it to be like, it can be all put together. It needs to be a little bit messy, and I love that. I did add some of the little trash decoration with the eco lifestyle pack, and then I added some extra trash cans. I actually forgot because I like to add these trash cans also in the front, and I'm now realizing that I forgot to do that. Again, no big deal. Then I added some cars for decoration, and I'm pretty sure after these I added some bikes on yeah, right here on the parking space. But yeah, we are getting close to the end of the build. I want to thank you guys so much for being here. Let me know what you guys think on the comment. Let me know what you guys think of the screenshots, and I don't know, if you have any ideas for other lots or families that you want to include here in Willow Creek, just let me know down in the comments. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.